Good evening, everyone, to this free masterclass session on Australian signaling, where we'll be talking about the competence requirement for signaling detailed design phase, New South Wales, Australia. We'll talk about detailed design phase requirements for level 1 and level 2. And we are also planning to start a 30 hours online training program from 27th of September 2022. About which we'll be sharing more information towards the end of of today's session. So I welcome you all to this free masterclass session. I'll just take 1 or 2 minutes introducing our organization. We are Railway Academy, and we are a railway and smart mobility focused training company, and with the credentials of training more than 3,000 professionals across the world in last 3 to 4 years. We run 20 plus certificate courses online across signaling, RAMs, safety, OHE, and our students and alumni work across the best companies in railway sector. We offer a lot of business solutions as well. We are offering onboarding solution where we help recruit and train graduate engineering trainees and conduct training programs to get them on job and ready to perform. We also offer, we have a trained pool of 5,000 plus professionals in our network, through which we offer recruitment and onboarding solutions by conducting custom training programs for them. And if an organization has any custom training requirement, we have a good panel of experts to address those. We have a virtual training academy where anybody who'd like to equip themselves on latest railway technologies, we have many courses to offer them. Our training programs are segmented across RAMs and safety, wherein we are offering programs on Zenith standards, functional safety. We have a training program of 30 hours on RAMs. We have a 15-hour certificate course on data management for safety critical systems. Around railway application engineering, we have training programs on Microlock 2, electronic interlocking. We are also coming up with a training program on Kavach, which is Indian TCAS. In railway signaling, we have a 90 hours railway signaling course program, a 42 hours advanced railway signaling design course, a 30 hours. We're also coming up with this Australian signaling course, which will be launched in September. Around electrical engineering, we have courses on EMI, EMC, OHE, and also we're working on a course program, train propulsion systems. We have a course on rolling stock coming up. We are currently running a batch on IRSC coaching module A, and we are also gearing up to launch a project management course program in the coming months. So this is our calendar. You can take up a screenshot of this calendar. So we are looking at launching our next our program on Australian signaling in September, followed by a program on EMI EMC in September, where we'll be commencing the batch from 1st of September. October, we are coming up with a program on train collision avoidance system Kavach. We're looking at, in November, we're looking at a program on RAMs. In November itself, we're looking at a program in project management. So this is a calendar. You can take up a screenshot to refer it later. I'll not take too much time on this. Going forward, we also keep organizing a lot of masterclasses like these. So in September, we are planning to organize a masterclass on ULinks, which is Foundation for Digital Railways. So you may register for that, followed by a masterclass on Kavach and RAMs. So you can also take up a screenshot of this screen as well to refer what all masterclasses we'll be organizing in the coming months till January. Apart from that, so this is the registration page of ULinks, which you can scan the QR code here to register for the ULinks program, which will be conducted on 10th of September, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday, which will be taken up by experts from Europe, along with our expert, Dr. P. Raja Gondan. So you're most welcome to register for this as well. You can scan the QR code to register for this. We'll also be sharing you an mail regarding the registration of this upcoming free masterclass. In addition to that, we also have self-paced courses on functional safety, RAMs, which are very flexible. You can complete them at your own convenience. followed by an assessment and certification. To be updated about our courses in future, you can scan these. You can start following our social media handles on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So I've given the QR codes here, which you can scan and actually reach the pages to follow them. And we'll be posting the news or the notification about our upcoming training programs on LinkedIn and Facebook. YouTube, we usually post the session recordings. So this session recording would be made available onto our YouTube channel within 12 hours. So you can follow our YouTube channel and to get the session recording in case you're not able to attend this entire session fully. So going forward from here, summarizing it, we're providing a lot of training solutions for digital first railway organizations to learn on the go. And now I would like to invite our master trainers, Mr. YP Rao, who will be taking up today's session. He has served in Indian Railways as Divisional Chief Engineer. He's also worked as trainer for Global Rail Malaysia, JMDR, Invesis Rail, and Fedrox Bangalore. He'll be assisted by Mr. KJS Rao, who's also worked in Irisset for 12 years and has served in Medha, Ansaldo for many years in Hyderabad and UK and Australian designing. So he'll be supporting Mr. YP Rao in today's free masterclass. So let me welcome Mr. YP Rao. Sir, are you there? I think.
Hello, good evening to all. Can you hear me, Sumit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So should I stop sharing and you can share your screen?
Yeah, but how can I get, shall I ask you request for sharing screen?
Yes, sir. No, sir, I can do that straight away.
You give me a screen sharing?
Sir, I have, okay, you want the control of the screen, right?
No, I want people to see my screen.
Okay, so now you share your screen, sir. Please share your screen.
Oh, 1 second, I am opening the PPT, okay?
Yes, sir.
Shall I talk? Hello to everybody. Welcome to all the 140 plus participants. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to share my experiences with Australian Signaling Railways. Now I am starting the main content of the course. To start with, here what we are showing you in this slide is about the various states available in Australia, and each state has got their own way of doing signaling arrangements. And our present topic covers signaling arrangements with respect to New South Wales state, and other things we can have a look in the Wikipedia. And if anybody else wants other than New South Wales, they can come up to me separately, like MTM or Virgos for Victoria, for which we will have a separate master session or training program, whatever. Okay. Now I am starting the main content with regard to New South Wales state of railway. And this is the map of Australia showing complete railway states, including the railway track in all the states. At the bottom, I have given the link for the railway map. If you go to the railway map and see the link, it will give you all the states and what are the railways available there. Now coming to the opportunities in gaining Australian signaling knowledge. Now, best thing, knowledge is power. Once you gain any knowledge, it is useful. And in so long as in railway industry, there is no limit how much knowledge you can gain. So this is one of the knowledge belonging to Australian signaling. Like that we have got UK signaling, and like that we have got Malaysia signaling, where I have worked extensively in all these things. In addition to that, 40 plus years I have worked in Indian Railway signaling. So whatever you learn, it will be useful if you are working in that field or in that signaling area or in this domain or in that industry, or you want to aspire a job doing this type of signaling arrangement. Now, as Indian engineers, you have preference to get, after completion of this course, you can show the certificate and share your knowledge in the interviews, what you have gained from this type of signaling arrangements, what we are showing you, and you will stand preference for getting job. And there are MNCs directly taking, they are asking for people from abroad also. You stand chance once you are knowing their signaling arrangements. Now in this slide, I have shared names of the companies, some of the names of the companies who are doing exclusively, they are the companies in Australia doing Australia signaling job only. And normally what they do many times, they subcontract these jobs to other countries because of immediate work requirement or shortage of labor. So companies who are doing work for them as subcontractors, they will be doing Australian signaling in India, and you stand chance for get selected there. Or if you are already working there, you stand chance to get advance your career in a better position. Now looking at the arrangements in New South Wales state, we'll see one by one. Here I have given the arrangement starts with the introduction. The introduction itself has got a separate standard, THRSC 10,000 ST. And in every slide, I have got a PDF copy attached to the standard. And this cannot open in the this slide mode. If it will open in ordinary mode, at the end of the training, if time permits, or at the end of the session, if time permits, I can open some of these PDFs and open you what are the various standards which you can have right away, look into it, understand it, and then gain your knowledge 100% that standard. So this standard deals with only introduction to the New South Wales railway state system arrangement. So as you see, if you want to learn, if you are new to the Australian signaling, they are given 33 standards for a newcomer to learn Australian signaling. So blank. Are you able to hear me? Do you want this app to make changes? No. So standard 1 signals, standard 2 headway, standard 3 braking distance, then overlaps, speed restrictions, signaling signs, single line sections, bidirectional working, time releases, locking arrangements, approach locking, route holding, local control and override, points chapter, train stops, control and indications, track circuits, level crossings, warning lights, signal key switches, measurement of distances on signaling plans, yard limits, compressed dates.
Sir, we are not able to hear your voice.
You are not able to hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Now it's fine, sir. Please continue. Please continue.
Are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Then the standard 26 deals with the stabling yard signaling and placement of berth signs. Next one is naming of locations and tracks and sidings. And the 31 standard deals with ETCS level 1, which is extensively used there. Then you have got the 32 standard nomenclature, 33 trackside telephone. Like that, there are 33 standards. Every standard is available in PDF copy, which can be shared for clear and full knowledge of the standard for the beginners. So coming to, there is a video link I have given, which I will play at the end, which shows physically how the signaling arrangement at New South Wales is quite entirely different from any signaling like Indian Railway signaling or UK signaling or Malaysia signaling, how it is different. Just 3 to 4 minutes video link I have given here, and that will be displayed in the end as the time permits. The link is given here. And to start with, a small explanation is about what is called as a double light color light signal, which is a very new concept as applicable to Australia standards. So many other standards are for the people who have already done basic training or basic knowledge, or they want to do higher knowledge. They can still go for glossary of signaling terms and also signaling equipment, configuration standards. Everything separate standards are available other than what 33 standards I have displayed earlier. Now let us see some of the symbols what they have used, which is belonging to chapter number 4. Now these symbols, as you see, they are used extensively on signaling plans, track installation plans, and circuit books. Those who are freshers, I will be explaining this separately, what it is, and whenever time is permissible. For those people who are already knowing something about it, you can understand that these symbols are being extensively used on signaling plans, track installation plans, otherwise called as bonding plans in Indian Railways, and circuit books. They call it as circuit books. In Indian Railways, we simply call it as circuits, like that. Everywhere these plans are being used, what is shown in this standard number 4. Just to have a feel of how the signals look like. See, you can see here a double head signal. They are telling control signal 5 light, automatic signal 5 light. You can see the difference. Control signal 5 light, there have got 2 heads, one head above the other. Whereas an automatic signal, top head is in alignment with the post, bottom head is on the right side of the post. Like that, we have got a marker light for semi-automatic signal and 6 head light for more aspects, and also a flashing light signal is shown in this simple symbol, just for example. Now coming to the symbols used on the train detection for track circuits and all. Now the track circuit block joint first symbol is same, but the end of block joint symbol is differing here. Also, they will show overlap block joint in a different way. At the bottom it is shown, and a jumantless or any jointless track circuit or audio frequency track circuit, they will show with a different sign, like what is shown here, which is entirely different as compared to other railways. Now, this is how a relay is being shown in the NSW standards, which is also an entirely different way of showing the relays as compared to other railways. So knowledge of symbols on relays is very important. This is how you show the symbols exactly in the circuit book also in the same way like what is shown here, including the contacts, slow to pick up, slow to drop, all these relays are shown here. Now coming more on the standards. Standard 1 deals with the signaling aspects and other things. Okay, so that is elaborately dealt in standard number 1, and I have given the PDF copy for that, which can be opened and at a time, and you can see that how the signals worked in NSW area. Just see a single light color light signal here. There's a single light color light signal here, but the top will have 3 aspects: red, yellow, and green. In between, you have got a plate called identification plate. Below that, a miniature red will be there. So whenever the signal has to display a stop aspect, it will show the bottom red aspect of the head in 3 aspects. In addition to show that, it will show a miniature red at the bottom. Both put together constitute the stop aspect here. That is what the big difference it makes with any other railway in a single light color light signal. Single light means only one head, main head. Double light means you will have 2 main heads. At that time, the bottom miniature red light will not be there. Now they have shown a double light and a single light signal separately, and with a turnout repeater, which shows that the next signal has got a turnout signal, which is given for you to go on the turnout. So for turnout also, you have got a separate signal called turnout signal. And if it is not visible, they are having a repeater for that, which is shown separately here for a double head signal and for a single head signal. Now coming to this arrangement, you can see somebody told me, what is these switches, sir? Here it is, they are not switches actually. These symbols are like they are called as train stop. Train stop arrangement is similar to somewhat what is called as TPWS, those who are having knowledge about train protection warning system. So these train stops, they are fitted in slow speed areas. Every area which is requiring train stop and which is not requiring train stop, it has been given in the standards, which areas what signaling has to be used, which areas your single light has to be used, which areas your double light has to be used, which areas you have to use the train stop. Everywhere it has been stipulated in the standards itself, they are given. So in slow speed areas where train stops are used, just it will be after the signal, and if the signal is led, this train stop will have a mechanical arm raised above the rails, and the train engine tripcock will hit it, and the onboard equipment will get the information that it has passed the signal at red, and immediate brake application will take place. Like that, between the two signals, if any speed reduction is required, there will be an intermediate train stop which observes that the train is running with the stipulated speed, and if it is within the stipulated speed, it will be horizontal and no hitting will take place by the tripcock of the engine. Or if it is running over speed, it will approach the intermediate train stop at a time shorter than it is allowed to lower. So within that time, if it approaches, it means that the train is running over speed and it will be in the rising position. and the train tripcock will hit it, the arm, and immediate train brake application will take place, sensing that the train is running at a higher speed. So this is a new arrangement what they are having in NSW. Now more signals are shown here. Left side is the automatic signal, and one is the double light automatic signal. The other one is a single light automatic signal. And this is what is called as a signal meant for diversion. That is controlled signal, which is operated from the operator, and it is a single light signal. And there is a three dotted circles you can see inclined. That is what is called as the turnout signal. That lights only will be shown. No other light will be shown when he is going on the turnout. The top lights will not be shown. Okay. And below that, you have got a marker light. When it is working as automatic signal, it will work as an A marker light. And if you are having a low speed arrangement of receiving the trains between the speed, between the turnout signal and the A marker light, you have got the subsidiary signal called the low speed, which will be given for slowly receiving the train. That is the slow speed signal. Now, I will just briefly explain you a simple arrangement of how this train stops maintain proper distance between the trains. Here you can see that they have shown two double-edged signals, 101 and 103. And you can see circles after 103. First circle, they have shown conditional caution. Second circle, they have shown 101 caution. That is, you are having 101 signal, two different aspects, conditional caution and caution. 101 signal will show conditional caution means to start with, it will be showing red signal. And as soon as it approaches the approach track, after some time, seeing the red signal, driver is reducing the speed. So in the set time, how much speed he will reduce, they will monitor it, and then they will pick up a timer relay applicable to the speed permitted as set by the timer relay. As soon as the timer relay picks up, then the aspect will change to red to yellow immediately. Or even though it is operated, it will not change unless if sufficient time is passed by traveling on the approach track. So this is what is called as, you can call it in UK railways like MAR, approach controlled from red. It is a similar thing here also. So even the signal is cleared, it will be showing red aspect only. When the train strikes, the engine strikes, the wheel strikes the approach track, after set time delay, a timer will pick up, and then only the signal will go to the off aspect. Till such time it will not go. So depending upon the overlap, for 101 signal, the overlap is beyond 103 signal, and beyond 103 signal, they have got two overlaps. One overlap is 101 conditional caution, other overlap is called 101 condition caution. That is, one is called as reduced overlap, the other one is called full overlap. Whenever reduced overlap is there, you will have the caution condition aspect. That is, the train has to pass on the approach track for some time. Then only with that condition, after passing some time, then only the signal will clear. But if you are having full overlap, what they have shown the second circle, there is no need for the train to stop. Immediately, the signal will go to yellow without any delay. That is the concept of condition caution and caution, which will allow signal to be delayed or signal to be given immediately. And then below that, they are given how much time occupancy is required when condition caution is required. Track circuits, what are all required for condition caution. And then suppose you don't have any overlap, all the overlap is occupied, then you can have low speed aspect, which is shown below 101, a small shunt-like signal is there, circle. That signal can be taken off because that does not require any overlap. Then you can take off that low speed aspect for when no overlap is there. And if you want to take off the shunt aspect, low speed aspect or shunt aspect, generally track circuits can be occupied like any Indian railways also. In track circuit occupied condition, shunt signal can be taken off. This is how a simple explanation of this conditional caution, low speed aspect is being explained in this diagram. coming to overlaps, they have got entirely different types of overlaps. If you see in Indian Railways, you find that signal overlap 120 meters, block overlap 180 meters, like that you might have studied. Simply the term called overlap in case of automatic signaling. Here, depending upon the section, what type of signaling is there, they have stipulated what are the overlaps. If you go for some sections, they will say overlap is minimum 300 meters. Afterwards, some higher speeds more than 50 kilometers, 400 meters, more than 80 kilometers or 100 kilometers, 400 meters. Like that, section-wise overlaps are defined, which are given in standard number 4. Now coming to this slide, this is about controls and indications. And here in this slide, in this principle, they will describe about the block working. So there also they have got absolute block system and also automatic block system, but they call it in a different way. What they call it is a track circuit block or a permissive block, like that different terminology is used. And also we have got what is called as a non-vital blocking. That is like putting your lever collars on the levers or caps on the physical control panel, or clicking a block unblock button on electronic interlocking. That one they call it as a non-vital blocking. And vital blocking is nothing but your absolute blocking with automatic signaling, with direction setting and all. That will be dealt in this chapter separately. And the next thing is bidirectional signaling. In Indian Railways, if you call double line, up line is meant for only up signals and down line is meant for down signals. On up line, you don't have signaling arrangements for dispatch a train in the opposite direction. And on down line, you will not have opposite signals for dispatching in the opposite direction. In bidirectional signaling, both lines will have signals in both the directions. It is just like similar to twin single line working, but the thing is, they will have the direction switches to control the direction of traffic on each line. So it becomes bidirectional signaling. And more details about that is covered under standard number 8. Now coming to standard 11, approach locking. This is as usual, like any other railways, like when no track circuit is there, dead approach locking. When track circuit is there, then approach locking, time release, all those things are there. But they will explain in a slightly different way here in this chapter number 11 for approach locking. Coming to standard number 12, route holding. It is also similar arrangements like what we have in Indian Railways or any other railway. How the route is held when the signal has passed till it comes to the destination. But it is described in the way it suits to their railway signaling arrangements and what type of track circuits and what type of relays are used. All are different. To that standard, this route holding arrangements have been formulated. Coming to the points, in points, as far as many of the railways is concerned, you will see that the points mostly are operated DC 110 volts. Able to hear me, Mr. Kano?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shall I interfere?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear.
Okay, please go
Okay,
ahead.
shall I interfere?
So as far as the points are concerned, as far as the points are concerned, most of the railways and most of the foreign railways, everywhere either 110 volts, 120 volts, or sometimes AC relays, AC type driven motors, like that. Point machines for driving the point from normal to reverse or reverse to normal, they are engaging. But one specialty here is we have got what is called as a hand throw point in addition to normal type of point. What is that hand throw point? Hand throw point looks like normal point machine only. Those people who have got idea, freshers, they may not be knowing. For those people who are having idea, you all know what is a point machine. But in a hand throw point, by the side of the point machine adjacent to the casing, left side casing and right side casing, two number of throw bars will be there. Throw bar like a lever that will be normally kept horizontal. So if you lift one lever 180 degrees and put it on the other side then 180 degrees opposite, then on the other side of the point machine, throw bar becomes free, and that will be operated 180 degrees, which will be attached to the gears directly. Gears will operate the point machine. So this is like you are operating a point machine with crank handle, inserting the crank handle on the gears. Instead of that, you operate these throw rods or throw bars, and the throw bar will operate the points. So a point machine which is normally without the throw bars will have crank handle control similar to any other railway. But a point machine having throw bars, you require a control to unlock the first throw bar on one side. Once the unlocking of the first throw bar takes place, it will be operated 180 degrees and taken to the other side of the machine. And then the opposite side of the point machine throw bar can be slowly operated, lifted, and again taken to the other position 180 degrees, which is connected to the gears, and that gears will rotate and operate the points, throwing the points, locking the points, everything is done. So these two types of point machines, they are the specialty in this Australian railway, which is not available in most of the railways. But this type of throw bar points, I have maintained 5 years when I was working as a foreman in centralized traffic control area in Zimbabwe, 1982 to 87. All my points machine were throw bar points machine only, and I was the foreman there and doing the maintenance for centralized traffic control electronics for 5 years. That is just for information. Now coming to the train stops, I have explained you much about train stops in the previous diagram. It serves as a prevention of SPAD. What is SPAD? Signal passed at danger. The moment signal is passed at danger due to any reason, that is erroneous brake application or ignoring the driver, the red aspect. So the train stop mechanical arm, which is kept near to the foot of the signal after the signal which is showing red, it will be in the raised position, and hanging arm in the engine called the tripcock will hit this if it passes the signal at red, and the movement is transmitted to the onboard equipment computer, and immediate brake application will take place. There are also two types of brake applications are there. If the red signal is passed, emergency brake application will take place. If it is an intermediate train stop for reduction of the speed, then it can trigger a service brake application. Like that, different train stops trigger different brake applications. Just to take care of the driver's mistake. Coming to level crossings, again, this is something like people who are knowing UK signaling, something analogous to us, but quite entirely different from Indian Railways. Here you can have only a pedestrian crossing, or pedestrian crossing means for people only walking, a pedestrian crossing with a road vehicle crossing you can have. There are two types, road vehicle crossing with pedestrian crossing, or only pedestrian crossing. Then coming to the level crossing again, you can have only flasher lights. There is no gate or nothing. Only flasher lights are there. There is no gate. Either for the pedestrian crossing, only flasher lights will be there, or for the main gate where vehicles are crossing, only flasher light is there. That is one type. The other type is flasher type also combined with the gate, that is the boom or the swing gate. So that is the type, like that. And again, when you come to the gate, the booms or the barriers can be half barriers or can be full barriers. Like that, different arrangements with different time settings, and how automatically it is worked, and in which circumstances manual operation is required. And also you can, a maintainer can go on a car by a vehicle who is doing the maintenance, and remotely he can operate from the car itself. When he comes close to the signal, he can observe that there is no train coming, and he can operate the gates with a remote control, just like you're operating a TV with a remote control. He can operate the gates also remotely. Like that, different arrangements are there. And those who are doing level crossing design, this will be a very important and interesting arrangement shown in this chapter number 18. Now coming to automatic train protection. Earlier days, they were simply calling it as ATP, automatic train protection. Now they have changed the name, the ATP itself, they have changed the name in Australian Railways. They are no longer calling it as ATP, they are calling it as ETCS level 1 only. All of you or some of you may be knowing what is ETCS. That is your European train control system, and where you will have balances for showing the distance traveled and the movement authority up to which the train can move after traveling the ballast which is fixed on the ground, how much distance you can travel before coming to the end of the movement authority, that is the red signal. And the movement authority can be a red signal, or it can be a stop board near a permanent speed restriction, or it can be a buffer stop. In all these areas, you will have, and they have nominated which sections the ETCS is being provided. And in addition to that, in ETCS level 1, which is an interoperable system which can be overlaid in the existing interlocking as an additional arrangement with onboard equipment and line side equipment. And here you will have what is called as LEU, line side electronic unit, which will convert the analog information coming from the movement authority, either the red signal or a buffer stop or a speed board, information coming to it in analog form. It is converted into message forms and fed to the what is called as the balances on the track kept at distances, and that will convey the information to the onboard equipment through the antennas available on the engine, and it will be given fed to the European vital computer, and the computer processes the data, messages received or telegrams received, and then if required, it will trigger emergency brake application or it will trigger service brake application, depending upon whether the signal is red or where speed restrictions are there. Like that, the ETCS working is there. It has been widely being used in Australian Railways, and we will be explaining that also in detail in this standard, which is given in TS 05333, what is shown here. Now coming to the main subject of today's discussion, how to get a competency certificate to work in the Australian railway signaling arrangement. So for that, you should acquire knowledge and maintain a logbook of your record of experience. And also to start with, since you are not having any experience and any certificate, you have to work under mentorship of a person who is also already certified to work. Once you work under him, he is the person who will be certifying your work, and you will be signing it only as under mentorship. And for doing that under mentorship also, you require thorough knowledge of the entire signaling. And this is divided into two sub portions. One is the what is called as the concept design knowledge. The other one is called as the detailed design knowledge. So they have bifurcated that, and depending upon what knowledge you have gained with the standards and trainings and other applicable procedures, you will get the certificate to that effect, and you can be doing either concept design or you can be doing detailed design. So that entire flow chart is given here, how the certification process will take place, that has been shown in this diagram. And also this flow chart finally says that how the certificate is given after doing what are all the types of work experience, pursuing work experience, and wherever you don't have sufficient work experience as required by the standards, they will check by question and answers method whether you have acquired the knowledge by self-study or by having undergoing any training. They will interview you, and then they will certify that he has got work experience for some areas, and some areas which require more knowledge in which he has not worked, then they will certify that they have tested your knowledge by question answer method, and they will certify you that you are fit for that particular level of competency. Now, competency standards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some 5 PDFs are available here, and in that most important thing is QSDP1, Procedure and Work Instruction Index. So this covers most of the topics required technically, and whatever topics required technically which are covered under QSDP1, Procedure and Work Instructions, they have been elaborated in detail in 073 Signaling Documentation and Drawing. That standard, it is fully documented. And again, how the competency standards are laid, it is shown on CY03000ST. Again, one more standard it shows. All these standards, you have to go through and study it and comply with the standards to become fit to work. And after that also, first beginning, you have to work only under mentorship. And with this knowledge, if you are doing as low as possible, as minimum as possible, or no error at all, as reduced error as possible, then they will have confidence and they will give you a certificate of competency. So error reporting and all will be coming, which will be very important in getting the certificate. Some more standards are there. The 0009 is a old standard that has been now replaced. And you have got EMCA 6, where it says how you have to maintain your logbook, what are all the information you have to maintain in your logbook, like that, and what are all the other important documentation required. It is given on 10503 for the certification process. And the organization who is sponsoring you for the certification in which you are working, it is called as AEO, Authorized Engineering Organization. That is nothing but the company in which you are working. So how they will sponsor you for certification, there is a guide for management of competency, and the people who are managers have to go through this guide and then follow the instructions to get their staff get the certificate of competency. And that guide is useful for the engineers working as managers in the company. Now coming back to little more details, there is a procedure called, if you are having a design process, they will give what is called as a SFS. SFS means signaling functional specification. Suppose you are doing a design, like people who are doing UK signaling, they say you should have a what is called as a design specification. They call it as a design specification. What you have to do in the design, a design specification. But in Australian Railway, they don't call it as design specification. They call it as SFS, signal function specification. It will assist both the person who is giving the work, he will state, and the planning person will plan according to the specification. Designer will do the design according to the specification, and the construction people will do the construction, and testing people will do testing, and the maintenance people will do maintenance, and operators will do operators. Everything is coming under the scope of one document called signaling functional specification. After this stage, once this stage is approved, then only your main design will start. So you have got another standard number 7, design review process. Suppose you have done the design, like in the UK, you will be doing your production checking, your own checking of design. Then you will give to the person checker who will do the checking. So before you give to the checker, you do your own review. How you do your own production checking, your own review. They call it as the designer's review. Next is after designer's review, production checking is done and submitted to the checker. What checker will do, QSDP 7, then the checking process given in QSDP 7. All circuitry, everything is how it has to be done, it is stipulated in this standard. Then standard 8, QSDP 8, how the verification will be done. After independent checking, there will be a verifier, how the verification will do it. And the independent verification process completely is explained in this QSDP 8. Then coming to approval. After verification, the design has to be approved. Then only it can be sent for construction. Then for control sheets, every circuits what you make or every design you make, it will have what is called as a control sheet. That is just like in UK, you say approval and issue record. You have to maintain the chronological order, how the design has been done, how modification has been done, how everything has to be maintained. For that, they will provide what is called as the control sheets, on what date the design was done, if any modification is done, on what date the modification is done, if any this one sheet is removed, when that sheet was removed. All this information will be available under circuit control circuit sheets for the circuit book on the top. And then you will have modification books. Whenever you want to do a modification for the design, they will have a separate procedure that is used, and then it is spelled in QSDP 14 what is the procedure to do modification of the designs. And once modification is done, then the regular follow of checking and all other processes up to approval will take place. Coming to QSDP 15, every design should be allotted with a job number that is coming from the client. The client, the Australian client who is giving you the work, they will allot the job number as received by the document control. So every sheet should have the job number. Without job number, that sheet is not valid. Okay. Purpose is to allocate job number for signal design work. Then QSDP 19 tells about how to develop control tables. Control tables are very special arrangement in terms of the tabulation and other things in Australian signaling. In Indian railway signaling, you suppose you have got 40 routes, one control table serially numbered 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 40 will be there. Okay. Then coming to this control tables in Australian railway, it has got altogether a different format and different way of doing things, which can be given different forms, and you can see it how it differentiates between all other types of control tables practices available in other railways internationally. Then you have got USDP 20 track plans and signaling plans. Signaling plan also is called track plan here. That's also same like your signaling plan. And how the signaling plan has to be complying different arrangements. All the arrangements to be complied in the signaling plan has been stipulated in QSDP 20 chapter, and that is available separately. What are all the contents required in the signaling plan, which you have to comply according to QSDP 20. Coming to QSDP 21, they give you all the arrangements which have to be shown in track installation plan, otherwise called as bonding plan in Indian Railways. All these things are stipulated, which have to be meticulously followed as per QSDP 21 standard. Coming to QSDP 23, all your panel diagrams, layouts, panel layouts, all these things, how it has to be done, and all the arrangements, how it is to be presented, how the drawings have to be made. All these are coming under QSDP 23 for panels and console diagrams. QSDP 24 is specifically meant for SSI design procedure, and it details all the procedures to be followed for SSI. SSI is nothing but solid state interlocking. It is similar to your electronic interlocking. Only thing is in SSI, you have what is called as trackside functional modules, things like that. And as usual, the central processing unit and those things will be there. And they may be using a time division multiplexing also in the communication channels in the SSI. Coming to QSDP 25, analysis checking of signal design. What is this analysis? This process is conducted to detect any errors or omissions in detailing of the circuit design. So they make an analysis. So there it stipulates how to find out errors in the circuits made. What type of checking you have to conduct for finding out the errors. So this is the analysis they have stipulated under QSDP 25, analysis checking of signal designs. Coming to QSDP 29, every information what you do has to be on a standard form. All the standard forms are made available under QSDP 29. So you have to use only these standard forms. Other than these standard forms, no other form has to be used. How an error report has to be made. How a circuit book has to be made. Everywhere, every form is stipulated under QSDP 29. This refers to all standards as available as required for the signaling arrangements. Now QSDP 48 is dealing with power design, which is as applicable for Australian signaling arrangement. How the power design is made, how power supply arrangements are made. Everything is given in QSDP 48. Then QSDP 54 gives you how control table has to be checked. Checking process is in detail elaborated for a person to do checking of the control table. That is given under QSDP 54, procedure for control table checking. Okay. Now coming to the major details, like your network company standards are there and guidance is there, how to do every design or every checking standards are there. Here all the things are stipulated under, all details are stipulated under one standard called SPG 0703. It is something like your signal engineering manual. It gives you all the information, what is to be done, what not is to be done. Okay. So it deals with all the chapters as applicable to the signal engineering technical standards and technical procedures. Everything is governed under SPG 0703. And it covers all the chapters of signaling plans, track installation, control tables, signaling circuits, aspect sequence, modification sheets, stage works, surveys, installation drawing, sighting forms, drivers diagrams, which are required for the drivers, housing layout, your case A, case B, case C, whatever is their location layouts, level crossing layouts, how the level crossing design layouts are done, any mechanical drawings, air systems which are used extensively for train stops, that air systems are there, structures and buildings, how the buildings have to be done, clearance diagrams about the points and all, various manuals, and how the arrangements have to be commissioned. What is that? All the documents, they are all given in that. And you have got an equipment asset register, how to maintain assets all available at a particular installation. And it has got Appendix D showing what are the alterations permitted in documentation testing. Appendix X is how the circuit book has to be made, in what manner, in what sequence the circuit book has to be made. And then similarly, you have got arrangements for CBI design, how the CBI design or arrangement for relay-based design, how it has to be done. Everything is available in Appendix H. Here I am giving a small glimpse of how they represent a design when we are doing a design modification. Unlike blue and red, like additions shown in red, removal shown in green, something we call it now, or we do two drawing method, one drawing method in UK signaling. Here they don't have such arrangements. There is no color code is involved. Simply a wire has to be removed means they will show two thick arrows. You can see in the diagram that they have shown two thick arrows. That means that it's all shown in black and white only, that you are adding a wire there from one terminal to another terminal, and you are removing one contact between those two terminals, and that removal is shown with hollow arrows. That you can see that they have put some cross with hollow arrows. So there is no question of any red and green work here. They will only show with a thick arrow or a hollow arrow. Like that, different circuit arrangements, how addition and removal is shown, they are shown in this diagram. And coming to competency standards, more information is available in that 03003 and 000 standard about how to have competency standard for giving the certification. Okay. So here they say, first they will say you will be a design engineer according to competency. Next they will say you are an experienced signaling engineer. And other one they will say a commissioning engineer. What is a design engineer and what is an experienced signaling engineer? Design engineer is requires competency for signaling detailed design only. If he is having competency to do signaling, detailed design signaling competency, he is a design engineer. Coming to experienced signaling engineer, he is able to do verification. A design engineer is doing the design and the experienced signaling engineer will do the verification. And then the commissioning engineer will do the installation. Like that, the competency standards are bifurcated. Now, if you come to what I called as the concept design, there, what are all the requirements in the concept design they are telling there. So the concept design requirements include, you should have not only detailed design, you should have idea of construction, factory. No, this is actually explaining the various stages of the process of signaling project. I'm sorry, it's not concept design. So here they say preliminary design, detailed design, construction, factory acceptance, site acceptance, certification, commissioning, and then afterwards handed over to maintenance, then preventive maintenance, corrective maintenance, investigations on failures and accidents. All these things they are talking as life cycle of the project. Then coming to the proficiency, they say proficiencies are staged into 4 stages. Level 0, a person who has no previous experience. Level 1, who has initial limited knowledge. Like I told you, 33 standards are there. In the beginning, I have shown you 33 standards. They give you an understanding of the total picture of all the subjects covered in the signaling arrangement, which is sufficient for you to carry out a initial work. Okay, that is giving a limited knowledge only. But still, you require supervision by a person who is already competent in the work to supervise your work. Then level 2 is a person who is having sufficient knowledge, but still he has not acquired the certification to do independently. Still he requires supervision. So you can have a knowledge combinedly level 1 and then level 2, and then only you can go for certification. With level 1, you cannot go for certification. you should have knowledge specification for level 1, then you should have knowledge specification level 2, both acquired, then only you can go for certification to get the certificate of what is called as competency. But a person with level 3 knowledge can demonstrate with his experience, unsupervised all tasks involved, either in the design or installation or commissioning, then who is able to do with unsupervised tasks is called level 3. That is the final level. Then coming to the concept design is to start with how we are going to start the design when the client is telling this is the design required. There you will have to start with the signal functional specification I have already told you. Then you will have the signaling plan or scheme plan depending upon the number of stations involved. Then you prepare the control table. Along with that, signal functional specification is prepared. And then input to assurance process, how safety is achieved. So how you will achieve. One of the assurance processes, you do the design, you do the production checking, and then you give to the checker will do the checking. Then you give to the verifier will do the verifier. But this is not sufficient. This is only verification. Then what is validation? After that, you will take the information to the site and execute it and test it without signal, without trains, and satisfy that every function is working at site. That is your site acceptance test. All this comes under what is called as assurance process, and you follow the RAMs, that is reliability, availability, maintainability, safety, all these procedures you follow, all these belong to assurance process. And depending upon individual project, certain things may be required, certain things may not be required in that whatever has been elaborated now. Now, if you are doing a detailed design and you want to be certified as a detailed designer, then you should know the thoroughly all line side circuits. And all line side circuits are given, typicals are given. 100% line side circuits or typicals are given. I have attached the PDF copies. All line side circuits, you have to follow the standard typicals given in the diagrams. And also interlocking circuits. What is interlocking circuits? That is your interface circuits or the line side circuits. Interlocking circuits are your data or your internal relay room circuits. Okay. So where logic is done, all that is coming under interlocking. For that also complete all diagrams are given for all circuits that typicals are available. Then in addition to that, for the interlocking circuits, they have given one more standard with this interlocking circuits has been updated, old and new. The new interlocking circuits are followed only in new installations. In the old interlocking circuits have got some old circuits which are now no longer followed in the new circuits. But they have given one book, one standard separately explaining all old and new interlockings, completely how to read every circuit. They have given a standard book, how to read the circuit. Normally people don't give this type of coaching. So here the standard gives you self-coaching. You can take the standard, study it and go through the circuit and understand yourself. That is also covered in the standard. So all interlocking data which is required, that is for your logic, okay. And then how the configuration, the architecture, especially for your electronic interlocking and SSA interlocking, how the whole structure of the interlocking has to be done, what is the configuration of the architecture, all that it has been explained in the PDF what is given. Then ETCS, automatic train protection is now ETCS. ETCS level 1, they have given about nearly 50 to 60 standards. I have given the link in the next step. So you can go through the links and you can study the standard or you can get trained, and the total arrangement of that ETCS is available with plenty of standards and all of them are available on Google. Now circuit design typicals, the PDF I have enclosed here, that is SP SG0602-002. It gives you all the circuits available there. And then these are the topics available in that booklet. Okay. And one sample circuit I have shown here, how there is a signal with green and yellow and red aspect, how the relay contacts are shown, how the ECR relay is shown, how the circuits are shown for track circuit, cut section track circuit, all these things, and how the miniature red lamp is burning, that is also shown at the bottom. So a typical circuit like this, and this gets explained again in a standard separate book totally. like signaling control systems. So the document 0713 will be the one where you will see all circuits are being explained. That is the number. Okay. And also SDG 002 also is available, giving lot of details about the various operations. So you have got your route setting, how it has to be done. You have got entrance exit system and one control system, like that different systems. One control system is a old system, still it is existing, and new systems are entrance exit system. That is also there. All these things are explained. In a one control system, it is like individually you operate the points and then finally operate the signal. In NX system, you press the point button and press the route button. That is the main difference. So these are again showing different circuits, how they are made in the entrance exit system. They are showing it. Okay, all the button circuits are shown here. Then coming to other details, you have got interface circuits, panel diagrams, and then operator interface for operator doing on keyboard and all, and then route control, how the route is controlled, how the route is set, and I have given the standards, and the here I have given the search link, search transport for NSW. If you go there, whatever you want to type it, you will get it. For example, if you type uninterruptible power supply for signaling loads, if you type it, then immediately you will get standard THREL 23001 SP. Like that, one more is there, SPG 0729 signaling power systems. If you type signaling power systems, your standard SPG 0729 will open. So what is the search engine available on the Google is transport for NSW. If you type it, all standards available in NSW has been put on Google, and they have made it free. It is very easy to get the standards and read the standards, and then either understand by self-study and or attend a training course. It is left to you. But NSW has made things very simple. Like computer-based interlocking, all the standards they are given under 00719 document. The PDF is there. You put this, the total requirements for computer-based interlocking is available, including data preparation. And this is one example of how we prepare a data for various functions available in a yard. Like in your, for example, you may do it in your microlock design in Indian Railways electronic interlocking, or you may do it in West-Trace design, how you prepare the table that is called the bit chart and all part of the data. And this SPG 1230 is a little obsolete, but anyway, it is useful. There they have given complete microlock system, how it is working, application logic, design process, Boolean logic, everything is available. But this has been superseded, but anyway, still it is a useful book. Application logic conversion. And if time permits at the end, I can give you a video link, what I'm having to show how the application logic design is made in an electronic interlocking. Depends upon the time. I can play this small link, a video link. Like that, one more video link is there, which is giving about the interlocking configuration and architecture. That also I can play and show you if time permits. Okay. Now, this is a general architecture arrangement, how an electronic interlocking system is there. In the electronic interlocking room, you have got West-Trace A, West-Trace B, two systems. And then you have got a Moviala, a data logger system, relay racks, CT racks. And then the SM's room, you have got the personal computer with video and all. So a system architecture is shown here. Then coming to ETCS level 1, I have already given you a glimpse of what is required in the ETCS level 1. It is an interoperable system employing what is called as trackside your balances, and then the interlinking equipment, electronic equipment, LU, line side electronic equipment, to take the information from the signals or points or stop board or buffer stop, convert the data into messages, and then feed it to the this balances, and then transfer it to the onboard engine. All this is being covered under ETCS level 1. Now, this link I have given, these two links, if you open, you will get about 50 standards on signaling side and 50 standards on approximately on communication side, what is being used. Totally roughly about 100 standards or less than that in ETCS level 1. Everything, all the standard is available. And only thing is, it may be difficult for you for self-understanding. Training may be better, but still if you are able to do self-understanding, all the 50 standards for signaling arrangements, trackside arrangements, and the communication arrangements, everything is given in these two links, which is available in the Google. This is what I have given. So that covers about ETCS level 1, and the more standards example is given in the New South Wales as SG 0602 001. They are giving all interface circuits, all drawings are available here. Typical drawings are available here. You have to copy only these typical drawings for doing the interface circuits. Just one sample circuit I am showing you how an LU is fed with relay contacts information, and then how the signal is getting information. A simplified layout I have given for ETCS level 1. Coming to why should I learn NSW? This only I have told you opportunity to fast track your career. That is, if you got this certificate and you got this knowledge, companies doing Australia work can get preference in recruiting you, or you acquire this knowledge and you are aspiring to go from level 0 to level 1 or level 2 to level 3, level 0, 1 to 3, 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, all this knowledge will be very useful. And you can, suppose you are deputed to Australia, you go there, after gaining some experience there, you can try to directly get a visa, because Australia is one of the countries where they are inviting foreign experts on the signaling field. Still, they are taking a lot of persons on the signaling field in Australia. So it has a chance, very good opportunity for people to go there and work. So that is your fast tracking your career, I have told you. And qualification requirements, generally these companies, they are asking people with minimum graduation, BE, BTech, generally. But those people who are like a diploma holders and all, if they're having 2 years experience also is being considered equal to graduation level. So you can get selected with that qualification also. And I told you a lot of job opportunities available in New South Wales. After your completion of training, you can produce this certificate and prove your knowledge in the interviews and get selected. And then we have got the 30 hours course, which covers level 1 and level 2. Attend the training, what we cover in the course. So let me give you a small idea about 30 hours course. 1 hour, I will be giving all symbols, which is quite different from any other railway. Then 3 hours, I will be giving complete signaling arrangement, because that is a signaling arrangement. Once you understand thoroughly, then only you go for any other information or circuits or control table. So you should thoroughly understand what is the signaling arrangement there. That's why I have allotted 3 hours for the signaling arrangements in the 30 hours course schedule. Then 1 hour overlap, because it almost overlap concept is similar. Only thing is the measurements are different. That's why I have given 1 hour allotment. Then bi-directional signaling, which is slightly different from double line signaling, I am allotting 1 hour. Approach locking is almost similar, 1 hour. Route holding is almost similar, 1 hour. Then points I told you, ESML and UOML. That UOL. ESML is your like a crank handle interlocking. UOL is like a hand throw operation of the points. So for that differences and all, we can cover in 1 hour. And then train stops, which is not available generally many places. I give you a little more elaborately in 2 hours, dealing with train stops operation, suppression, wrong. If you are making wrong movement, how to suppress, then how to control the intermediate train stop for speed reduction, how to provide the intermediate train stop, where to provide intermediate train stop. All these things will be covered in this 2 hours time. Track circuits I am allotting 2 hours because people may be interested to understand what are the different arrangements available as applicable to Australian standards. So they are given track circuits and limited clearance, non-electrified territory circuit, DC electrified territory circuit, bonding, how it has to be done for electrified territory, and other bondings for traction return, and what is bonding post and the end of the end of overhead wiring. All that is covered. Level crossings also I have got allotted 2 hours. Like I told you, you have got only pedestrian crossing or a pedestrian crossing with a road vehicle crossing. And it may be only with flasher lights, or it may be with flasher lights and boom or swing gates, or it may be with flasher lights and half boom or half swing gates, like that. And it may be on a single line or on a twin single line or on a bi-directional line, or they call it as on a track circuit block, or they call it as absolute permissive block. So how remotely it is worked. If it is nearer to the station master, and they can work from the station itself, how it is remotely worked. How a maintainer who is going by road can stop near by his car and remotely operate the gate from his remote control. All these things, about 2 hours we will cover it. Then signaling plan, how it is done as applicable to NSW. I am just giving you what are all the criteria requirement for signaling plan in 1 hour. And control table format, which is quite entirely different when compared to any other railways. The entire format, in fact, what are the words used, what is the meaning of that words, all that will be covered in 2 hours, which is very specific for Australian railways. Then line side circuits typicals are available, about 171 sheets are there in the standards. We'll cover few sheets in that important, like HR, HDR, DR, some cut section track, those things, all those things we'll cover. And then the interlocking circuits, which is other than interface circuits. Interface circuits is outside, that is line circuits. Interlocking circuits are the logic circuits, which are also given as part of the circuit, that PDF. We'll see that also. Then interlocking data and configuration, all that we can discuss with relation to either microlock or West trace. Okay. And if needed, if anybody is interested, we can discuss with respect to what is called as electrologics also, which uses coded track circuits. Okay. Then ETCS, I have allotted 3 hours. We can give a complete overview of level 1 completely, and what is coming in level 2, and what is planned in level 3 we can cover, but it is mostly level 1 we will cover in detail as far as it is an overview only. Okay, not in detail means overview only. Then input assurance, like your self-production checking, and how you do independent checking, and how you do verification, how you do validation, and what is safety aspects involved, safety assurance, all those things, it will be covered in 2 hours. Course highlights, duration is 30 hours, evening 7 to 9 p.m., Monday to Wednesday, and Friday, 3 days, Indian Standard Time. Class recordings available in case you missed the class. Then prerequisite, I have told you, it is people with knowledge of electronics, electrical, and communication background. Take away what you will do after doing this training, then you are competent to work, but under mentorship. Okay. And once you are certified, you can work independently. Criteria for avoiding the certificate is that we will be conducting multiple choice questions, and you have to get at least 60% of marks. Okay. And now I am handing over to Mr.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sumit, I'm handing over. If somebody is interested and still time there, I can play one video and one West trace and one microlock video. 3 small videos. If time permits, we'll play it. Depends upon.
Sir, I think we have time. Sir, I think we have time.
Okay, no problem. We have time or we have no time?
Sir, we have time. We have time. We can play the video.
Yeah, let us see how it goes. Okay.
So first of all, sir, thank you
so
much
for taking up this. I'm handing over back to Mr. Sumit, who has given me this opportunity, with a lot of thanks to him.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, and I'm really thankful to you, sir, for taking up this session so beautifully. And I'm sure that our participants would have also enjoyed and experienced an insightful session. So taking it ahead from here, I would like to share some details about the upcoming training program. So we're planning to launch, we're starting a 30 hours online live training program under YP Rao sir's guidance to help you prepare for opportunities in Australia. So as sir has explained you that this program will be of 30 hours. We'll start our batch from 27th of September, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Classes will be held. We understand that you're working professionals. So if you, in case you miss any sessions, we'll be sharing the recording through our LMS systems. All the presentations and recordings will be made available to you along with the documents also for you to go through. The prerequisites, sir has already explained. BE, BTech, diploma holders with background in electronic, electrical, and communication systems with some basic knowledge on signaling would be good, because we have not really worked out a very extensive course program, but this is a upskilling program on a fast track mode for people who want to learn Australian signaling. So we'll be looking at people, if you have a basic background in signaling or railways, this will be very helpful. Now, talking about the pricing of the course program, the regular course fees is 25,600 inclusive of GST. There's a special offer that we are rolling out, is 18,000 rupees inclusive of GST. This offer is valid till registrations up till 9th of September. So if you want to avail this special offer, you may register before 9th to avail this special offer of 18,000 inclusive of GST. Yes, we have group discounts. So if you have friends who are joining together in a group of 3, 5, or 10, we also have additional discounts for which you can take details from this particular number on WhatsApp shared. You can contact us and we'll be happy to share the group discounts offer with you. So this is all we have today. I'll move on to the sections. So the important thing which I would like to share is that there would be a criteria for awarding certificate of completion for this particular program. So you need to score a minimum of 60% in the online assessments post the course that we'll be conducting. You will get 2 attempts complimentary to clear the assessment. So now moving forward with the questions, YP Rao sir, I'll be taking up some questions which participants have shared on the chat box. So I'll start. Sure. So I might also ask you to unmute to ask your question directly from sir. So let me take up just a moment.
Please go ahead. Okay.
Okay. So sir, Mr. Hari Prasad has asked that he's very new to signaling. So will the course cover topics from basic? When is the so please answer this question for him.
Yeah, if you are very new means I understand that you are not working in any signaling industry. If you are not working in any signaling industry,
he has to attend another course previously.
Hello?
He has to attend another course and then only come to this course. Otherwise,
please allow me to speak. Yeah. If you are very new to the signaling field, I suggest you to first undergo the 33 standards what I have displayed to you, which will give you the knowledge of signaling in total about the New South Wales. After that, you can take up the second course for concept design and detailed design, which is level 1 and level 2 included, which is the present training of 30 hours. So if you are interested, you can take, see, we have announced Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday this course. So in between days, you can take the initial basic course if you are interested separately.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. So there's a question from Muhammad Hafizuddin Ismail. He's asking, sir, can we change trailable point machine to non-trailable point machine? How is the configuration done?
Yeah, it is available in the point machine, what we are going to deal. That chapter I have shown, no? I have shown one points chapter, okay? That standard, it is showing the information about trailable and non-trailable and interchanging of the trailable and non-trailable. It is available and we can detail it in the course.
Right. So, so there is another question by Arshad Ali. If somebody has worked for UK Rails with 2 years of experience, does he get the opportunity to work for NSW or other Australian railways?
Yeah, provided the thing is simply work experience is one criteria, and the next criteria is to go for two branches are there. One branch is if he has done already designs, better get the license immediately, which will be honored all over the railways. Any railway in world, okay, IRSC license. Or else, if he is not having that much experience to produce knowledge requirement and work experience, go for module ABCD, which I am having all study material to impart, and pass ABCD, which is as good as or better than a license, and then you get all the opportunity. And with the minimum experience what you are having, you may be considered or you may not be considered.
Okay, thank you, sir. So Mr. Naveen Kulkarni is asking a question. Is there any difference in LAP, location area plan, in the Australia Railroad, which is there in the UK Railroad?
Yeah, there are differences that will be dealt when we are dealing the signaling plan subject separately. Okay.
Sir, okay.
There are differences.
So there are.
It is not same. It is not same like UK Railway. So
Jatin Kumawat is asking a question that is Australian system working on Siemens system?
They are more following British system, not Siemens system.
Okay. So there is a question.
They follow British system.
Sundaram is asking a question that he's a mechanical engineer. Is he eligible for this course program?
Any engineer is eligible. Even when I was working in Malaysia as a trainer and a design manager, I had trainers who were civil engineers, and that too ladies. So I asked Mr. Fan Boone, the CEO of the company, this is the first time your company or any company recruiting a civil engineer for a signaling post. He said they're better than men here. That's what he told. And when I was doing the regular weekly and monthly tests, she was excelling the electronic and other electrical engineers in tests because he was taking extraordinary interest in learning. This is a live example I have come across myself when I was in Kuala Lumpur for 1.5 years as a trainer and design manager. Okay.
Okay, right. So then there is a question from Ahmed. Sir, please tell me if a person is working in operation as a traffic controller, train operator, and having some basic knowledge how to enhance signaling and switch. So, so how he can actually benefit from this course program?
It depends upon which field he wants to enhance his knowledge. If he wants to enhance his knowledge in the operations only, this course will benefit him for ETCS level 1, level 2 and level 3, where operator interface is given more importance, where timetabling is there, all data and pre-timetabling, train describer information, all those things will come in level 2 and level 3, and he can learn this and he can work for operator interface, manning the center control. That is very useful to him.
Okay, sir, I think we're done with the questions. So another question, sir, Mustafa is asking, is Western Australia Perth region having same signaling system just like the one in South Wales region?
Yeah, for that, I have given the link for different signaling arrangements available in the Wikipedia. In my slides, I have given the link. And the link is giving 5 types of signaling arrangements in 5 regions. Okay. In my first or second slide, I have given you five regions there. Every region has got a slightly different way of signaling arrangements. So if you are working in Western Australia signaling region, according to that, we can make a tailored training program to suit to that, which may be slightly different from New South Wales. Major New South Wales is done in several states. After that, you have got Victorian signaling separate. They call it Virgos. After that, Melbourne Metro MTM is slightly different. These are the main differences. And one of the railways is 100% following UK signaling only. Okay. So like that, differences are there. And we can make the tailor-made programs depending upon the individual requirement.
Okay. So there's another question from Vamshi Krishna. He's asking, he's working in ETCS level 1 and level 2. So he's asking that which is better, Australian NSW competency or IRSC?
Depends upon where he wants to work. If he wants to work in Australia, NSW is important. If he wants to work in other than Australia, then IRSC is important. Because Australian people will honor their own certification more than IRSC certification. Okay?
Okay, Pratmesh is asking, he's currently living in Wollongong, NSW. So he has little knowledge about signaling through his own research on CBTC and ATCS. Should I do some other course, or I can directly take up this course? So Pratmesh, I would like to answer a portion of this, and then YP Rao sir can add on to it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Railway Academy has training programs which address to basic railway signaling concepts. So if you would like to equip yourself conceptually, we have other training programs which you can join and start learning. Once you complete that, you can probably enroll for this particular program, or you can do both the programs parallelly. So Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, you can actually do the NSW course, and Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, you can do the basic signaling course. So parallelly, you can prepare yourself for the NSW in a better way. So I hope this answers. Sir, would you like to add something, YP sir?
Yeah, in between any information extra he wants, he can be given guidance on some mutually arranged timings.
Okay, so Jatin Kumawat is asking, how can we get into logic design from project work?
Sorry, beg your pardon?
Jatin Kumawat is asking, how can we get into logic design from project work? Is it relevant to this session, Jatin?
See, all project people in COVID time, they want to become designers. So most of the times, all the project people were learning designer's course from me online for several days. And many of the project people achieved getting designer's post in other companies. So a project person can learn the designer's course and can easily jump to the designer's job, provided he proves his knowledge by learning. Understand?
Okay. Yes, sir. Sir, there is one interesting question from Muhammad Hafizuddin. He's asking, sir, when will you be going to Malaysia? I think he has undergone some training with you in the past in Malaysia.
I don't remember, because I trained 3 or 4 batches there continuously. Mr. Van Boon, our CEO, Madam Mei Ling was the manager who was very kind to me and employed me in consultation with Mr. Van Boon. And afterwards, after I trained about 3 or 4 batches, they become self-content, and I said bye-bye to them.
Okay. Sir,
So
can you share
again, if you want some more training on Malaysia signaling, I'm ready, because 4 batches of graduates I trained in Malaysia signaling, and Malaysia also follow mostly Australian signaling principles.
Okay. So, okay. So, okay, Ronak Naik is asking, sir, he has been working for Australian projects for past 2.5 years. How this course will help him move ahead in career?
See, it depends upon in which level he is working. I have given you already level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3.
Right.
So if he interacts with us, then we'll find out on what level he is working and what level he can aspire in his career progression.
Okay, right, sir. So, sir, can we share the videos right now and then conclude the session today?
Whatever, I got nothing. Whatever you want, you can do it.
Sir, how do we showcase the video, sir? Should I stop sharing and you can showcase from your end the video?
No, what do you want me? What do you want me to do now?
Sir, videos. You said that there are some YouTube.
No, is there time to show the video?
Yes, sir. I think we have time.
Then I will just show one simple NSW double light color light signaling video immediately. Which is about, okay?
Right, sir. Right. Thank you, sir.
Just a minute. Are you giving screen share, or screen share is with me?
Sir, now you can share the screen. Not a problem.
Okay. 1 minute. I don't know what is happening here. Is my screen visible to you, Sunil?
Not yet, sir. Not yet, sir. Please try share screen again.
Okay. Just a minute. Where is share screen options? Share screen. I have pressed scratch in. I don't know whether you are able to see this share
yes,
screen.
sir. We can see your system. We can see.
Okay. Now let me show him a double light color light signal. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. It will give you a very good idea about a double light color light signal. What is this? Something is happening. Bear with me for a minute.
Yes, sir.
What is this opening? Why mail is one? I'm sorry, I should not open mail. I want to go to this one, YouTube. Just a minute, please. System is a bit slow. Please bear with me. 4 minutes, 10 seconds video. I'm opening it now. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible. So,
Is the video visible?
yes, sir. Video is visible, but sound is
New
not.
South Wales double light signaling. Now you can see red over red. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now we will see green over red. Proceed, caution, but be prepared to stop the next signal. Green over yellow. Medium aspect, proceed, but be prepared to stop at the next signal after this. Green over green. Clear, proceed, at least the next two signals are also showing a proceed aspect. Two reds, stop. Many signals are also have a small low speed light fitted below the main signal sometimes. Now red over green. Main, so the lower aspect is the subsidiary aspect, low speed signal. Ready to stop at the next signal, the line immediately beyond next, where automatic train stops are provided. Train stop area, maximum speed 25 kilometers. Some signals can show an additional aspect between clear and medium. Now we have got a yellow over pulsating, green over pulsating yellow. Preliminary medium, proceed. Next signal is showing at least a medium aspect. So when approaching a stop signal, a typical sequence of aspect is as under. First signal will be clear, two greens. Next preliminary medium, flashing green over flashing yellow. Next is medium, green over steady yellow. Next signal is caution, green over red. Next signal is a low speed signal for going only at 25 kilometer speed. And stop is two red aspects, one below the other. There is also two turnout aspects which indicate a diverging route ahead. Now you got the yellow over yellow. Medium turnout, proceed on diverging route, next signal displays at least caution aspect. So the speed is limited speed. Next yellow over red. Caution turnout, proceed on diverging route, next signal may be at stop. He has to go with more restricted speed than previously. A signal with the two lights are aligned vertically in a controlled signal. Both the signal heads are in the same alignment. This means the signal is a controlled signal operated by a signaler. Now you see the signals aligned. The top is in line with the post, bottom one is right side, diagonally staggered. It's the automatic signal. Automatic signals can be cautiously passed at danger. And this is automatic signal can also be designated by an illuminated A marker light. It can work as a manual signal or automatic, controlled signal or automatic. This is used for signals which can be switched in as a controlled signal at certain times as a turn sum. That is, it is made into automatic. Or in tunnels where there simply isn't enough space to stagger the lights as with the picture. internals also you can have a marker light. Thanks for watching. That's it.
Thank you, everyone. So thank you so much.
Anything more you want? If time is there, if anything more you want, I can.
Okay. I just have one request, sir. So to everybody, please follow us on our social media channels. You can use your mobile phone to scan these QR codes to reach to our LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook pages. We'll be uploading the recording of this session onto our YouTube channel, and would also be updating information on our free and upcoming training programs on our LinkedIn and Facebook. So you can follow either of the two or both of them. So please scan and follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, and we'll be continuously striving hard to bring valuable trainings for you. Thank you so much for your time. We really value it. Thank you, YP sir and Kodla sir, for your precious time. And it was a very wonderful session. I've got a lot of compliments and praises from the participants in the chat box, saying that this was a very insightful and informative session. And please be connected to Railway Academy for more such sessions. So people who are interested in the course can please contact us on our website or through WhatsApp, so that we could actually answer your queries and help you register for the course program. So we'll be starting the classes on 27th of September.
26th.
Yes. 26th. We'll be starting the course program, and you can avail the special course offer by 9th of September. So you're getting a very massive discount to register for the course program if you register before 9th of September. And if you have any queries, questions, please feel free to contact us on the WhatsApp number shared, or you can also contact us through email on this email ID shared, inquiry@railwayacademy.org. We'll be happy to respond to you. Thank you so much and have a great evening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Thank you, Kanu, Mr. Kanu, and thank you all participants. Have a nice evening. Good night. Bye.